we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Contour Community Meeting. This is the last Contour Community Meeting of 2020. We're almost there, folks. It's almost the end of 2020. We're so close. We've got a few things to talk about before we do that, though. So we're going to kick off with, what have we been working on?
Yeah, so sorry everyone for not having videos, but my camera's playing up. I think we really only have a couple of things. Oh, great! Let's see some other people adding stuff. So we got the 1.11 release scheduled later this week. We are going to do a 1.10.1 release. I think talking amongst the maintainers, we all agreed that this is the usual way we do things. We're going to we're going to do a 1.10.1 release, which will bump the Envoy versions and include a race condition fix. Thank you, Steve, Chris. This one. This one is a bit serious, isn't it? Right? Isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, it when it comes up, Contour panics and gets restarted, which is not great. So it's fixed in main already, but we should back forward it for 1.10.
Yeah, I think I'll hit merge on that after this meeting, and then I think. Sorry, I was just checking the milestone. So for the 1.11 one, we've got two PRs that are still outstanding. The public package certgen one, Steve S, and a tidy up some V2 stuff that's I think is ready for merging. So I think we're almost clear. So we should be good to start to get those and get the and get the release branch cut and and kick off the process probably tomorrow.
Awesome. Will that be after Steve Sloka's talk?
Well, I didn't know about Steve Sloka's talk because I've been away, so I would hope so.
Yeah.
Steve, you want to talk about your talk?
It's backwards. Yeah, so I have a talk tomorrow. I think it's 11:15 Eastern. So at 10:09:08 Pacific. So it's about Contour, obviously. So it's called Ingress, the gateway to your apps. So the goal here is just to, again, introduce Ingress, introduce Contour. But this time I'm not going to use slides. So I'm going to use Contour itself to show all my slides. So all the resources around the internet. We're going to create routes and different things to show off Contour, to then actually explain the talk as well. So that's the plan, at least. We'll see how it goes.
Cool.
It'll be fun. And you also submitted a CFP for KubeCon.
I did. Yeah. I'm on this similar lines, how to use Contour in action. So less of what is Contour, because we'll probably do that in our regular CNCF talk, but more of all of the kind of features and functionality things of Contour.
I submitted a talk proposal as well about CRD design based on all the stuff we've done about status and how using objects that don't have good status can really suck.
Nice.
Awesome. So I think we're pretty ready in terms of what we've been working on. We're pretty ready to cut those things. In terms of what we've been doing, I haven't been doing much because I've been away. I had lasers shot at my eyes a couple of weeks ago, and I don't need glasses anymore. No superpowers though. Sad, my kids expected that I would also get superpowers. They were sadly disappointed. I haven't been doing much. It looks like everyone's been busy while I've been away. I think we probably should roll straight to the discussion because Daniel's got a couple of questions there.
Nick, can I just ask a couple of things on the releases real quick?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, please.
So on the 1.10.1 release, so Envoy 1.16.2, I guess, was released, but it seems like there were some issues with the CI pipelines that were publishing Docker images. So there are no Docker images for 1.16.2 as of right now.
Well, so that's a big problem.
And we haven't heard much from folks in Envoy about getting it resolved. So I'm not,
right.
If we don't have an image, then I'm not sure what we want to do there.
Yeah, so basically we want to hold off on our release until that's resolved. I don't think we want to release either 111 or 110.1 until we have Docker images for the current 116.x Envoy release, whatever that is.
Did you ping that client?
I don't think anyone has yet. No, it's probably worth.
I did. He passed it off to one of the maintainers, Lazan, who has been doing build stuff. And there's also supposed to be like a backport shepherd for like this quarter's release. So that person only responded once on the GitHub issue that I started as well. So not getting that much response from them. I can ping that client like again.
It's weird.
Just to make sure.
Lazan's usually pretty responsive. That's a bit weird.
Yeah. I mean, I just ping them and say, hey, can you just give us an idea of what's going on? Because we're holding up our contour release. We're holding up the contour release until we find out. If there's a problem, it's fine. Like, we just need to know how long it is. Because I don't think, even if it is, this won't be fixed until until the new year, I don't know if we'll go ahead without the CVE fixes and stuff. So yeah, it's very important for us to find that out, I think.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about everyone else. I can't remember everyone's schedules, but I'll be out on PTO starting next week through the end of the year, through New Year's. So
yeah, I'll be around for the early part of next week up into Christmas Eve. But then yeah, I'm out. I'm out until the 11th of January too. So if we don't get it out sort of late this week or early next week, it's not coming out till January. So hopefully we can find out some others from what's going on. If you hit me up, Sanjay, if you need like me to poke other people as well. Okay, so I think we'll thank you. We'll mark down in the release things there that that the both releases will be delayed until we have an Envoy version. Even if that's into next year. Cool. So I think it looks like Daniel's got quite a few things to talk about. So we should make sure we jump onto his stuff. Daniel, over to you.
Yeah, let's skip past PR 1955 and just a couple things. Let's actually skip down to 111 release PRs needed. I see this 162 as kind of the last operator PR that's needed before the release. There's just some bugs in kind of the make workflow that I addressed in this PR. So when it comes to the operator and getting that ready for 111.0, this 162 PR is really needed. And then if we drop down to post V111 is, I think one of the big features will be the network publishing API. So I'd really appreciate some eyes from the maintainers to see, if we're going to get, I'd like to make sure everyone's on board. And James, I appreciate you taking a look at it. And I have since updated the PR based on your feedback around the name of the API. So that's kind of the other big thing, but that's going to be post V111.0. If we and
is 161 the correct one? That's used Kubernetes networking V1. I think it's 1.
Oops, so I must have grabbed the wrong one. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. No, it's not it. 152. Oh, no, it's 151. Sorry. Let me go ahead and update that. 151. 221 5101 51. So again, if you guys can take a look at that, because I think that's going to be kind of the one big features following the 111 release. And it's not the API and 152, I believe, is the implementation of the API, is not meant to solve all use cases. It's meant really to kind of lay the foundation for solving different ways of exposing kind of the network endpoints, initially focused on Envoy, but designing the API so that if one day we decide to say, hey, we want to expose the contour network endpoint differently, we can do that as well without having to create a whole new API just for the contour network endpoint. So again, James, thanks for taking a look at it before, and I have made a few modifications both on the naming as well as kind of the structure of the API. I'll be out of office 12/18 through 1/3. We are starting to get some new contributors that are asking to take on issues, submitting PRs, all that kind of stuff. So
we'll try and keep an eye on that for sure.
Yeah. So if the maintainers of Contour could help me out, just try to keep in the back of your mind to take a peek at the Contour operator PRs and issues. I would really appreciate that, just so we don't, with my absence, things don't go dark with some of these new contributors.
I mean, I think we'll probably need to put some stuff in the public channel saying like, hey, most of the maintainers are away, sort of until early in the new year. We'll do our best to get to things, but development will be much slower until sort of mid-January, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And is that something that you want me to sign on the Slack channel, or?
No. I'll say that. That's fine. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. I'll say that, and that'll cover both contour and the operator, I think, since we're all sort of away for a while. I know. I'm sorry. I haven't been more visible there, but being away for a couple of weeks, and even now I'm still, I have to put eye drops in my eyes every half an hour or so I can read text. So it's taking me a little while to catch up. Thanks, man. That's really awesome. I think we, we'll definitely. So I think for the 111 release, the only critical one is that 162 PR, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I will look at that one this morning. If Steve could check it over too. We'll try and get that one merged as soon as we can, so that we can go through, so that we can try out the new process for releasing both things when we actually do the 111 release. I expect that to be a slightly rocky process. It's the first time we've done it. We haven't really, done this before. So, we'll probably need a few of us to actually push the buttons to do the release. So hopefully we can get the Envoy image availability thing, resolved quickly, so that then, we can have a few of us available to actually push the buttons. Otherwise, extensive notes, I think, are the order of the day.
And I believe Steve's on the call. When Steve and I were slacking on this, we talked about using the office hours meeting to just kind of work together and do the release cut live. Obviously, the operator needs Contour to be cut first, but we thought maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea if we could do it. I think the office hours this week is out of my time zone, so I wouldn't help in that case. But it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't think I'm.
Well, maybe we could use your help and James' help if, and I say we, but probably more so me, is if we do run into any kind of issues. Just kind of having you and James available to help kind of just resolve issues quickly, so we can get the release cut. I'm feeling really good about it, because I've kind of gone through, the operator follows the same release process as Contour, and I've kind of simulated that on a few occasions, and it seems to be going well. I do have, if it goes well, I guess the question is right now with some of the tooling is, I validate things like the examples, and the config is using the correct image tag. But that's always been on the main branch. And so I haven't done a whole lot of work on tagged, release tag branches and stuff. And I think maybe that's where I may run into some issues.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, there's a few things we've learned there from doing the contour releases. You know, that even if we have to do it manually this time, that's fine, and we just make a note and we can leave the magic that we've got in the contour stuff that does a lot of that stuff automatic that we've sort of built up over the years.
Well, yeah,
Cool.
hopefully again it goes well and we don't have to bother you. And but
it'll be fine. Like, I'd rather be bothered, man. Like, I want it to go well. Yeah. But yeah. So cool. So I guess so Sanjay, are you okay with do you want to keep talking to everybody and following up on the Envoy thing, or do you want to hand that off? What do you want to do?
Sure, that works for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, no worries. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, hit us up if you don't get anything. Like, we can, you know, start being more public about it. If they're, you know, if they're not saying anything, like if they won't say anything privately, then, you know, we might have to push the sort of the, you know, hey guys, we really need an answer here button and be more public about it. I'd rather not do that. It's a bit mean, but, you know, we gotta know, right? Yeah. Awesome. Oh, great. And you got the blog post there. I'll check that over too. Thanks, Daniel.
yeah, it's still very much a work in progress, but I know, Jonas,
Yeah.
you asked for it, and Steve, are you going to be responsible for the blog post? Because obviously the blog post isn't going to be all about Contour Operator. I just figured it'd be kind of a section of the blog post, and that I started putting together this content for that section.
Yeah, I can help shepherd that through. I don't know there's anything else really all that interesting in Contour for 1.11 feature wise. So I think the operators could be the star of the stage.
Yeah, okay, and that's kind of what I figured. So I'm kind of making this meatier than maybe what it needs to be. Give a little more background into, you know, operators and that kind of stuff. So I'll hit you up again when I feel like it's at a point for you to kind of do a more extensive review. So right now I wouldn't necessarily take a look at it because I just started working on it about 30 minutes ago, and it still needs a lot of TLC, but I just wanted to give everyone that link, and when it's ready for people to take a look at, maybe I'll just throw it on the channel and ping everyone.
Yeah, sounds great. I think off the top of my head, one of the other things that's pretty important for us to make a note of is that we now have both Helm and the operator as sort of install options. So we should make a little bit of a dance about that. That's probably, in terms of features, that's probably almost enough to justify like a blog. That's a pretty big deal. Okay, so I think that's everything that we have in the agenda. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to talk about?
No one does. I'm going to have another topic of discussion, but I don't want to completely monopolize the call. So sorry about that.
It's fine.
Service APIs. So one of the other big areas I'm going to tackle here come New Year is going to be service APIs. And my understanding is, you know, the operator would be responsible for kind of like the infrastructure level service APIs, like gateway class. Contour is going to be responsible for more of the application or the protocol specific APIs. And so with that said, again, I do plan on this being kind of one of the things I work on for the operator. How are things progressing with Contour? Is it still, Nick? I know it's
I'm still writing the design. It's you know, I'm trying to be pretty specific about the design, so it's taking a while. I wanted to do a sort of a whip PR for a while, just so you can all at least see the high level bits. It's still what I've been finding is I keep having to add to the high level bits as I do the detailed design. But so it's still, a lot of it is still in flux, but it's probably worth you all taking a look where it is at now. I'm up to the listener merging rules at the moment, which was needed a lot of careful thought. So yeah, I'll try and get a whip PR up on that today if I can. My time.
Very cool.
So it's just it'll be just the high level bits, not the the detailed design stuff is not finished, and there's just it's the skeleton of a dock rather than thing. But I would like everybody to have a chance to have a look at it, especially before you go away on holidays. I'm going to try and spend next week when things are a bit quieter, focusing in on that and trying to really get it done. I was hoping to have this done much quicker, but it's been harder and I've been away more than I anticipated. But in terms of what you're saying, I think that makes sense to me. My current sort of vision for how the service APIs will work is that Contour will consume a gateway class and any associated gateways with it, but it will not configure the gateway class or gateways. And then it will look for HTTP routes and or TLS routes, but not TCP or UDP routes. That's basically the high level sort of how we're slicing up the API. And then the actual API design is a lot of fiddly bits about how do you combine things and how do we go from the gateway class to the gateways, and what happens if there's multiple gateways, and what happens if you specify an address on a gateway when Contour can't set addresses at the moment, and things like that. So there's a bunch of sort of behavior things there that that I'm sort of defining as I go. So I think in broad strokes, the idea that the operator would configure a gateway class and gateway with the address details in the status of the gateway, that would be what I would want to see personally. Does anyone else
absolutely
have here? No, cool. So I'll try and get that whip up today. Just make sure it's readable to other people. And please all have a look and tell me what you think. But remember that there's a lot of edge cases that I haven't handled yet, so go easy on me on that respect.
No, that's awesome. So I appreciate that, and definitely look forward to taking a look at that. And I'll be taking a kind of a similar approach when I start really dialing into service APIs for the operator. I'll either do a whip PR or put together some kind of design doc on kind of the approach that I plan on taking, and make sure that everyone's on board.
Yeah, I think the design doc pattern that we've used in Contour has worked really well, where we sort of do the heavy duty bike sheeting on an MD and on a single PR, and then once you've sort of worked out most of the broad stroke stuff on a design doc, then it's much easier to go off and do the coding and spend less time arguing about details that you've worked out already.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Any other business by anybody? I think we only got 3 minutes left.
Doesn't look like it. So as this is the last community meeting of the year, just want to thank everyone for a fantastic work this year, moving Contour into the CNCF and putting out how many releases, Tong?
Yeah, total 16 releases, including the 1.11.
Which is kind of crazy. You are a fantastic bunch of people. Just want to thank you all, and thank you all the contributors.
Yeah, thanks heaps everybody for making this such an amazing year for Contour.
You all rock. See you all next year.
Yeah, thank you all. See you.
See you all around.